Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. We're going to talk a little bit today about Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. But before we get into that, share my mug. Drinking out of a Wharton cup today, thinking about my daughter. She flew back into America, staying at the JFK Airport Hotel, and then Monday we'll be flying right back to Korea. We'll be in Korea Tuesday to start her internship later that week with Ogilvy, big advertising company. She'll be in the Seoul office doing that for this summer. So I was just thinking about her because she is back in America. She's pretty tired, flew back from Korea, now staying in a hotel and then flying right back to Korea. But pretty proud of all that she's doing. Want to remind you, sign up for that newsletter. We'll have a Memorial Day issue going out later this evening. So make sure you sign up for that at enjoylifesafely.com. Get some free resources to help you stay safe, enjoy life, and be exceptional, including that weekly newsletter every Sunday. So Max Rokitansky is back. Well, sort of back. You get a tiny little glimpse of him, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But yesterday, my wife and I went and saw the new Mad Max movie. This is a prequel to the Tom Hardy Max, that movie that came out a number of years ago. If you remember that, Charlize Theron had a character, Furiosa. This is her origin story. And it was a fun movie. We both really enjoyed it. Lots of cool driving and action and stunts. From the other movie that she was a badass. Well, her younger self was a badass too. And then Chris Hemsworth playing a bad guy, which I prefer him playing Thor and a hero. But he did a good job of playing this over-the-top bad guy character. So it was fun watching him as well. And just a good movie. 2.5 hours long, but it went pretty quick. It wasn't boring. And so we enjoyed the movie. We went to the dine-in theater and had dinner there as well. So I had my Western barbecue burger. Wife had a chicken sandwich, and we got to enjoy the movie. But I mentioned Max is back. Yes, he is. But just briefly in a tiny cameo. Got to pay attention. But there is a scene where you see this guy and the old Interceptor vehicle that Max is known for driving. That was Mad Max. Now, will they do something more with him? From what I understand, they do have another movie in the works. This movie in the Mad Max universe timeline takes place between the Thunderdome movie with Mel Gibson and then the Tom Hardy movie a couple years back. So that's where this is in the timeline. And the character that played Mad Max was actually Tom Hardy's stunt double in that movie. Now, going way back, I was a huge Mad Max fan with the original 3 movies with Mel Gibson. I mean, I love that ending of the first movie way back 1979. They made that, where Mel Gibson as Max Rokitansky handcuffs the guy to the car, sets it up so it's going to explode with the way the gas is pouring and the lighter and so forth. Then he hands the guy the hacksaw and says, "Take you 10 minutes to cut through those handcuffs. If you're lucky, you can cut through your ankle in 5. So you just know that then he leaves and that bad guy is furiously trying to saw his leg off as he explodes, which was a just fitting end for the things that they did. Then in the next movies, they just got better. And I loved Beyond Thunderdome. I was in the Army when that one came out. Tina Turner playing a great role there, Bartertown. And I liked Max. I liked Mel Gibson's character. Then we waited for years and years and years. No more Mad Max. And then George Miller decided to revise the character, and I thought the Tom Hardy movie was really good as well. And then the one we saw yesterday, Furiosa, really good movie too. And it's funny that Miller's still making them in Australia. And it was interesting. I saw Chris Hemsworth on a TV show, and he said, America has Star Wars. England has Harry Potter. Australia, we have Mad Max. Because the original was made in Australia too, with Miller. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here. Hope you're having a nice weekend. So that's my short little movie review. It was fun. I don't want to tell much about it, except that pay close attention. You'll see that little cameo of Mad Max. If you watched the movie and you missed it, check it out next time. But there is that little scene with Mad Max and his interceptor in the movie. Just a short little cameo. The rest of the movie focuses on Furiosa and how she became the character in the previous movie with Tom Hardy. And she has an interesting story. She's a badass. Lots of cars and driving and chasing and explosions and fighting, and just a fun, really action-packed movie. Jay says they're going to add that to the watch list. If you like the other ones, you'll like this one. If you want to see a tough woman kicking ass, and also Chris Hemsworth in a role that's pretty different from some of his previous roles, sort of going over the top character of a bad guy, it's just a fun film. Nothing to make you think too much. Just enjoy the spectacular scenery and stunts, which are galore, and have fun with it. Taylor Joy, upcoming actress for sure. Definitely. I don't want, I talked a little about Chris. She did an awesome job in this role, and she will definitely go places. She has a really good screen presence and did a fantastic job playing a badass, growing up and into this character that we knew already from the other movie. It's always difficult to do a prequel because you know where it's going. I mean, she's not going to die because she's in the next movie, but you want to know what happens to her and still how she gets to be that character in the next movie. And they did a really good job of telling that story. And she did an excellent job of portraying that character. And I agree with you. I think she's upcoming, and we'll see more of her in the future doing some really good things. So that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. I hope everybody has a spectacular Sunday. Tomorrow we'll be talking about Memorial Day, obviously. And whether you watch the show or you don't watch the show, if you're listening to it right now, remember, Memorial Day is for those who served and died serving. You can thank us veterans on a different time. It's not about us. It's not about those of us that are still here. Tomorrow is about those that gave all and didn't come home. They died in their uniform. So make sure among your barbecues and different things that you take time out this weekend to remember that, and that they died for the freedoms and liberties that we're enjoying. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. And until then, again, have a spectacular Sunday.